Good morning. We've made it to Friday. Happy almost weekend and welcome to KSAT News Now. You know the drill. It's your bite-sized newscast with top headlines and weather.
That's right. We got a lot to discuss. Today we're talking, first of all, climate change. We know there's a big global summit taking place right now. And then Sunday's fallback time change, daylight savings time. Are you a fan of daylight saving time?
Yeah, well, the fallback part.
Yes.
To get an hour, extra hours.
That's always pretty key, yeah. And then we also have a new pill to treat COVID, and a local story. People are comparing that to a Forrest Gump. Actually, this is a really amazing journey that includes a San Antonio man.
And we also have a live stream of Colin Powell's funeral, so once we wrap up here, you can take a look at that on our live stream.
That's right, Colin Powell being laid to rest today. But let's get started first with the latest on the federal vaccine mandate. So it didn't take long for some states across the country to challenge President Biden's new vaccine requirement for workers at companies with more than 100 employees.
Attorneys generals in 11 states filed lawsuits this morning against the administration. Texas isn't part of that list just yet. The lawsuit filed argues that the authority to mandate vaccinations is decided by states, not the federal government. With the mandate, companies with more than 100 employees require their workers to be vaccinated against COVID-19, or the other option is to be tested for the virus weekly and, of course, wear masks on the job.
The requirement is set to kick in on January 4th, and companies who do not follow those rules could get penalties of nearly $14,000 per violation. And this is something that we talked about yesterday on KSAT News Now, Alicia. And so again, you know, these states are basically saying that it's their own right to be able to, you know, incorporate these mandates. So, and again, it took less than a day really for them to sort of get these lawsuits ready.
Which is no surprise. And what is a surprise is that Texas is not yet part of the list, but I'm sure that's something will be happening with that, as Governor Abbott has been very vocal on businesses being able to decide for their own. But also this morning, a major development in Pfizer's antiviral pill to treat COVID. The company says a key clinical trial has shown that the pill to create COVID-19 is highly effective. It prevents severe illness for at-risk people who receive the drug soon after they start showing symptoms.
So yesterday on KSAT News Now, we discussed another similar pill, an antiviral pill in the UK. This is Pfizer, so they say their pill is the second one to show effectiveness against COVID-19, but it's the first one created to attack the virus that causes the disease. Pfizer also said the pill cuts the risk of hospitalization or death by nearly 90% when given within 3 days after the start of symptoms.
So the next step is for Pfizer to submit the data to the FDA for approval in the U.S. If approved, the treatment could become available really soon. We're talking within the next few months, but here's the thing, supplies are expected to be limited, which we've seen with other supplies for vaccines, and really it's just the same story for any product, right?
That's
Production
right,
is slow.
And actually the New York Times was reporting earlier today, this morning, that there's obviously already a demand from countries that want this, but Pfizer is also going to make an effort to give it to some of the countries that may not have the economic means to get these sort of pills. So this is an interesting development. We know that COVID is going to be sticking around. Obviously, it's been part of our lives now for more than a year. So I think this will be an interesting treatment moving forward if it's approved and goes through all the proper channels.
So again, within the next few months is when that pill could be approved. The FDA will take a look at it as soon as that data is submitted. All right, RJ, what is the most you've ever gone hiking?
Maybe through like Frederick Park or something like
but
that.
But like a
or
mile,
McAllister
2 miles?
Not very far. Probably, yes.
Well,
nothing compared to this guy.
Definitely doesn't compare to a San Antonio man who did the ultimate road trip. And here's the thing, on foot. 33-year-old Michael Collins, back here, he walked 3,800 miles. That's from San Antonio all the way to Alaska.
Yeah, let's just repeat that again. 3,800 miles from here to Alaska. This is an amazing journey that started 9 months ago, and he arrived in an Alaskan town on October 18th. So we got a chance to talk to him. KSAT executive producer of digital content, Julie Moreno, interviewed Collins. Here's some of that story.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is amazing.
Inspired by shows about the Alaskan frontier and feeling frustrated by restrictions of pandemic living, Michael Collins strapped on a backpack last January and started walking to Alaska.
I did not really have much of a plan. I knew that I needed to go northwest
The former soccer player had no experience with backpacking or camping, but he literally took the journey one step at a time.
So this is about me and my walk with God, and also my craving for an adventure that is a bit more primitive and a bit more in the other direction than today's common adventures.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that
his
is amazing.
reaction, same as mine when I heard about this story. Collins told Julie that his tales from the trail were right out of an adventure movie. He had encounters with rattlesnakes and bears and battles with Mother Nature, of course, but he said the most impactful part of his journey was what he learned from his hours of quiet as he made his way north. And this is crazy to know that he didn't really have a plan, but at the same time, not really surprising because that's usual for backpackers.
Yeah, and that's
Kinda
probably
go.
the best way to get where you need to go, right? When you don't have, look at his beard. So in those other videos, like you could see like his beard growing out a little bit more. So in this story that we have on our website right now, just part one of this story, he also mentioned that someone gave him a turkey leg on the way, and that someone opened up their home to him in New Mexico as well. And all this scenery right here reminds me of that movie Nomad. Have you seen that movie yet?
No,
It's
but I have
basically
seen
nomadic people that are living in the sort of the Great West parts of
Okay.
like Utah, Colorado, Arizona. So that's really what that kind of reminds me of before he got up to Alaska.
I haven't seen Nomad, but I have seen Forrest Gump, and
Oh, there
I,
we
along
go.
with others, are saying that this reminds them, gives them very Forrest Gump vibes. Let's check out what people are saying on Facebook. Sebastian says, "Dude, you should have invited me." Man, that's amazing. I don't know if people could keep up though. And then Emily, of course,
Yeah, a lot of
surprised with
mental
what
will.
an adventure.
That's right. That's from Emily Starkey. Appreciate you guys chiming in. We have a few more here. So Christopher Mendoza says he should write a book about his experiences. It's pretty cool. This is amazing. And here we go. This is from Laura Starr saying he straight up Forrest Gumped it. # goals.
I agree. I agree. You know, with writing a book, I mean, he documented the entire thing, which is very much of our current generation. So I think that's very cool. But we have part one of his story on KSAT.com right now. Part two will actually air tomorrow morning on Good Morning San Antonio. So again, great story by Julie Moreno.
Yeah, she did a great job talking to him, and obviously a great journey there, great adventure as he mentioned. Okay, so this weekend we
man.
mentioned earlier, yes, it is almost time to fall back, which means you get one more hour of sleep.
Yay!
You're so excited
This
about that.
weekend, you'll need to turn your clocks back 1 hour. So remember, fall back. Clocks officially fall back this Sunday at 2 a.m.
Yeah, and while your phone obviously does a lot of the work for you nowadays, you might still want to set a reminder to roll back the clocks in your home, car, oven. All right, yes, the oven.
Yeah, 'cause
the
then it's
oven.
just
We
like
always
that
got to keep track of
annoying
that one.
blinking.
That's right, or other standalone clocks. So when we fall back, you get an extra sleep for one night, or maybe an extra hour out if you're out.
Okay.
That's what I was
okay.
thought.
Well, we know what RJ Saturdays, how they play out.
Always loved this day in college. Anyways, more daylight in the morning and less in the evening.
Did you know that daylight savings time actually was first enacted by the federal government during World War I as a way to conserve coal? And there are other theories out there of why it started, but many aren't fond of the time change, and there's much debate if it should actually stick around, so much so, RJ, that 19 states have enacted legislation or passed some type of resolution to provide for year-round daylight saving time. Texas isn't on the list.
We definitely not on that list. Arizona is one of the states that does not do this, so they've obviously figured out how to get through without having daylight savings time. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. And
But here it's sticking
this
around,
weekend.
so
It's this
extra
weekend.
1 hour of sleep, or in RJ's world, you get to stay out longer.
That
don't get
extra
kicked out
hour,
at
you know what I
2.
mean? It makes a difference.
All right.
Yes, okay.
So this week, world leaders met in Glasgow, Scotland to address climate change, and the meeting is known as COP26, or maybe COP26.
That's right. And here to break down the highlights from the summit so far, a very important summit, is none other than our meteorologist, Katie Blake.
Hi.
Thank you
Good
so much,
morning.
Katie, for
Hello,
joining
hello.
us.
Hello,
so
hello, hello.
I guess the first question is that for people that may not have any information about this, what is COP26?
Good question.
Yes.
So there's a lot about this floating around on social media, especially Twitter. And so at times this week, you may have been scrolling through and you're seeing these things because there were a ton of world leaders there, including President Biden. Prime Minister Boris Johnson from the UK, just a lot of people. So it was a big photo op thing. And so there's been a lot on social media. So COP26 is actually called the United Nations Climate Change Conference. So where does the COP26 come from? Well, the COP is short for Conference of the Parties, and the 26 is because this is the 26th conference of the parties.
Okay.
But essentially, this is a big meeting about climate change put on by the United Nations and their climate change sector. So that's what this is. And you mentioned it's in Scotland there, and we've got a lot of world leaders. It's 2 weeks long. It started on October 31st, and it doesn't end until a week from today on November 12th.
Oh, wow.
So
that is long.
They did a lot this week. They've got more coming next week. And basically, and yeah, I've got notes here because this is kind of
You know your homework.
Really scientific stuff.
This is not exactly the most straightforward issue, climate change itself, and then this big long meeting and all the things they're talking about. It's not exactly straightforward. So hopefully today we can break it down for you a little bit. And basically, this COP26 summit is a check-in on the progress that's been made since the Paris Agreement. That was also a United Nations thing back in 2015, where a lot of countries got together and said, hey, we need to do something about the rise in global temperature. And that's where kind of the first standard was really set. And so this is a check-in on progress since the Paris Agreement back in 2015.
What is the progress?
It's not not good. RJ and I were kind of talking about this earlier. Yeah, it's not great. We need to limit our global temperature rise over the next couple of decades, and not doing so great. We've got a pretty hefty goal in front of us as a planet, not just as a country, as a planet, and not as much progress has been made as what they would like. So we're kind of, it's almost, this is kind of like a check-in, and in a way, from what I've seen, kind of almost like a pep rally, like, hey, like, let's
keep
actually
the efforts going.
start doing what we said we were gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah, that type of thing. So, yeah. The overall goal here, and you may have seen this number a lot.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about this threshold right here, 1.5, right?
1.5 degrees Celsius. So the whole goal here is to get commitments from countries that steps will be taken to limit our global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So why 1.5 degrees Celsius? Well, that in a way is our, at this point, best case scenario, because global temperature has been rising. We would like to limit it by the end of the century to a rise of just 1.5 degrees Celsius. At that point, we're still going to see changes in our climate here in the United States and also across the globe. If we get a rise above 1.5 degrees, even 2 degrees, we're basically going to see the changes be compounded, and the changes will be worse. So with a rise in global temperature, we can expect more heat waves, more drought, more severe weather, heavier rain events, sea level rise. So at 1.5 degrees here, that's with substantial cuts in our emissions. Those things are still going to happen if we don't cut emissions and the global temperature rise gets above 2 to maybe 3 degrees. Look, at the path we're on, we're talking a 4-degree temperature rise by the year 2100. At that point, all these bad things that are going to happen on some scale will just happen on a larger scale, and it's going to be even worse. So 1.5 degrees, that's our best case scenario, but that's comes with a lot of work and really substantial cuts to global greenhouse gas emissions. And so that's what this meeting is all about. All different countries trying to do their part.
Right, and you mentioned some of the extremes here. We've already seen kind of a crazy weather year. Obviously, there was all sorts of wildfires out in the west, as we have right here in your map, and obviously a busy, a lot of activity always in the Gulf Coast. So you're basically saying that these extremes can be just a standard, like the norm now at this point.
Yeah, so here are some examples, climate impacts, things that we're going to see change. And this graphic kind of splits the country in half, east and west, or central and east, and then west. But some things that we can expect on both coasts here, all across the country, increased temperature. So especially increased heat waves, both in the length of the heat waves and also in the actual increase in temperature. So that would be compounded anything above 1.5 degrees. Extreme precipitation, this is something that the weather team has kind of touched on here and there. The fact that maybe we don't see as many instances of rain, but when we do get the rain, it will be heavier, and that's going to lead to increased risk of flooding, things like that. So all of these impacts that we're going to see with a warming of 1.5 degrees, again, anything above that, it's just all going to be compounded, and it's going to be even worse. So that's what we're looking at.
And I guess last question here, what do just people need to know? What are just kind of the general sort of headlines that you think people just kind of need to be aware about when it comes to this? I mean, is there anything that we can do here at home? I mean, it seems like it's just such a big issue and complicated issue.
And that's why this COP26 summit is so important, because it's up to our elected officials, especially at the national level, to go to this summit and make change and make commitments. And that's what we've seen some leaders do. But I mentioned this summit is going to be kind of like a pep rally almost. What's interesting, this sound that you're going to hear from Boris Johnson from the UK, not exactly peppy. Listen to his perspective on the climate crisis.
I think you've got to be doom and gloom, and you've got to remain doom and gloom until we really think that we have fixed this thing. This is a massive problem.
So
yeah. He's not really sugarcoating it there.
No. And I don't blame him for not sugarcoating it either. And I also think President Biden has taken a very serious tone as well. Here are some of his remarks from his visit earlier in the week. We don't have it? Well, what he really mentioned, he was kind of taking the stance of that, okay.
Will demonstrate to the world the United States is not only back at the table, but hopefully leading by the power of our example. I know it hasn't been the case, and that's why my administration is working overtime to show that our climate commitment is action, not words.
Also a very, serious tone. He didn't use the doom and gloom verbiage. But what I wanted to point out here is he said we're back at the table. So the United States was originally part of the Paris Agreement, which was that first meeting where everyone got together and said, okay, we're going to try to limit the temperature rise to 1.5 degrees. That's kind of where that number originated. With President Trump's administration, we were removed from the Paris Agreement, but now we're back. That's one of the first things President Biden did under his administration. So we're back. That's good, but we've still got a lot of work to do. And some of the things that have happened so far at this conference. So what are people actually doing? Here's some video of all these very important people talking to each other. So there's been a lot of that. First couple of days this week of this summit was the World Leaders Summit, where President Biden spoke, Boris Johnson spoke, a lot of different leaders spoke and kind of made their commitments and what they would like to do. And President Biden did lay out some goals for the United States, especially with emissions cuts through 2030 and 2050. They had a day this week focused on finance. So to make all these things happen, we need a lot of money, right? So we're talking about public financing, private financing as well. That's a big hurdle. And then there was a whole day focused on energy, specifically on eliminating coal as a source of energy. And that trickles into the global emissions. If we can cut down on the coal usage, that will help with the greenhouse gas emissions, and that's a big contributor to the global temperature rise. So a lot has happened this week, and that's good. They've got a full week next week, and hopefully we'll get some kind of more specific information about what's going to be done. But basically, this is just a big check-in. We haven't really done the work we've needed to do so far, but hopefully we'll get there. It's a big hurdle to cross, but a lot of leading nations seem hopeful that we can do it. Two nations that are not there, and this has been pretty heavily advertised, China and Russia, are not at this summit. Which
two of the biggest industrial producers of
and
emissions.
it doesn't help things, because I think what a lot of people think when they think climate change, well, what does it matter what we do? Why should I change anything if China's not going to change anything? So would be good if they were there, but hopefully we can get some things done, and maybe we'll have a better review for you guys heading into next week once this thing really wraps up. But here at home,
oh yeah, here we go.
We've got some amazing weather this weekend. So it was cloudy yesterday. We're hoping we'll shake the clouds today. By this weekend, we're looking at beautiful conditions, cool mornings in the 40s, 70s in the afternoons, low humidity, pretty good stuff.
I'm going to stick to I was talking to Katie earlier off camera, venti chai lattes all weekend to really just soak in this glorious weather that we've been.
Looking like some leaves are turning there, a little bit more fall colors.
Yeah.
I think Justin was talking about that during the 9. He mentioned that a little bit earlier.
It's finally starting to happen. We usually have to wait until November for that to happen around here, but it'll be great this weekend. So kind of doom and gloom with the climate summit, but this is not doom and gloom at all. It's going to be great this weekend.
Well, Katie, thanks so much for joining us this morning. On our website, we do have an article forecasting change. If you have any climate questions, you can ask our weather team. They're available to answer those. So really just anything to keep up with what's happening overseas, but of course here locally.
That's right. And of course our meteorologists, they have Katie and Sarah have a podcast as well. So whatever the weather, and just following the latest here with climate change, you think about just that 1.5 degrees. It seems like such a small number, but it really can make the biggest difference when it comes to our climate and also to our weather here regionally. We've seen obviously a lot more storms and hurricanes over the past few years.
I mean,
so
let's just take it back to February, right? We definitely felt that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, just want to mention a few more things here. Wurzfest is starting up today. Alicia, a lot of people excited about that up in New Braunfels.
Especially after that, major facelift that they got with repairing after that fire.
Yeah, the, what was it, the Marktplatz building that has been renovated, so a lot of people are excited about that. So make sure that you guys stay safe if you are going up to Wurzfest. Always a good sign of the fall there up in New Braunfels. And I believe we have a Facebook comment. We're doing this on Facebook Live right now, and we asked people whether they like daylight saving time or not. And David Perales says, yes, daylight saving time! Exclamation point. I like that we have longer days.
Exclamation point. And RJ is happier that he's getting a longer night on Saturday. I do want to remind you.
Oh, wow.
But KSAT News Now, we're now streaming Monday through Friday, so you can catch us here on Monday, 11 a.m. Hopefully then we'll have RJ's Stick Figure Sports.
Now we'll see how the Cowboys do. Spurs also in action. Go Spurs, go.
Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you here Monday at 11.